Welcome to our second Donkeys and Dragons video chat for 2023. Each episode, we spend about 15 minutes, give or take, chatting about some specific topic. And today we're excited to talk about the new course that we're offering through our Agile Testing Fellowship company called Holistic Testing and Continuous Delivery for a DevOps Quality Culture. Hello, I'm Lisa Crispin.
And I'm Janet Gregory. So we're really quite excited about this newest course, and we spent a long time developing it. Lisa, can you kind of tell our audience why we felt the need to create this course?
Yeah. There were people in our fellowship community who've taken the original course, Holistic Testing Strategies for Agile Teams. A lot of them asked us, like, well, we really would like a more advanced course. And so we started asking what topics were people interested in. And a lot of people said they were really struggling with continuous delivery and really wanted to know about DevOps topics. And so they would really like a course oriented towards that. And so, teams who are new to continuous delivery and deployment, it looks impossible to fit testing into deploying every day or several times a day. How do you do human-centric testing activities, for example, like exploratory testing? It just seems like an overwhelming challenge. And we realized that teams could use our holistic testing model to create a test strategy that would help them succeed with continuous delivery and deployment. So Janet, can you explain how the course maps to the holistic testing model?
Yeah, I could talk about this all day long, Lisa, you know that, right? In fact, we're writing a paper so that it's all in one place, what we mean. So our first course that's been out there for a long time, and I've been teaching for, I don't even want to say how many years, Holistic Testing Strategies for Agile Teams, was about the left side of the holistic testing loop. It's about the discovery, the planning, the understanding, and the building. Like, how does testing fit? How do we get that shared understanding? This new course puts the emphasis on the right side of the loop, the deployments, the releasing, the observability, monitoring, and even learning, right? Experimentation. Of course, nothing is in isolation. For example, to build in observability, teams need to be able to talk about what that means to them, what telemetry should be added, because different teams have different needs, right? Programmers need to be able to instrument the code, put it in their code with it. And all that stuff needs to be tested as well. I know that teams who are just starting out, that's way beyond what they're even thinking about. They're just trying to get the stories in place. In the right side of the loop, and in continuous delivery, really, that deployment pipeline, it plays such an integral part of the continuous delivery, so that it's important for the team to understand how testing fits in, right? What should be automated, and as you mentioned before, what kinds of human-centric testing needs to be done, because it still needs to be done for many teams, not all teams, right? And there's so many different contexts that teams are now trying to test in production. But unfortunately, not all teams really understand what that means. And some people think that still means that cowboy testing that happened many, many years ago. But it's not, right? There's several release strategies that mitigate that risk. And testing, to me, is all about mitigating risk. So I think the team really needs to understand what that is. So Lisa, we held a Train the Trainer course just a little while ago. And we got some really good feedback to make the course even better. We didn't have to do it alone this time.
Exactly.
So how many instructors now do we have besides you and me, of course, right?
Yeah, in addition to ourselves, we have 13 other instructors. And yes, it was really great to do the Train the Trainer course because we do have instructors who have experience with continuous delivery and DevOps and a lot
Yes.
of these tools and techniques that are in use. So they were really a huge help in developing the course. And the other neat thing about the course, it was so international. So we had people from Europe, North America, South America, and they're all ready now to facilitate the course. Gaspar Nagy is scheduling one soon, an online one from his base in Hungary. So watch our agiletestingfellow.com website to see when the public courses get scheduled. And of course, we can do them for privately in-house for companies as well. And it's going to be translated into other languages, just like our first course, like things like Spanish, things like that. So we're really excited about reaching multiple people around the world with this course.
Yeah, it's kind of exciting actually. Um, and I think maybe more exciting for me than many other people because I taught our first course so long by myself before we started this
Yeah.
Agile Testing
Mhm.
Fellowship that it's great to be able to share it right away. And so I think
Yes.
that's really
Yeah.
important.
And to have that reach
Yeah.
around to so many audiences. Yeah. It's
So
great.
I'm going to share my screen again just to show that holistic testing model. We've done it before, but just so that people can see what we mean when we talk about it, in case they haven't seen any of the other videos. All
Cool.
right, let me see. Share screen is always such a challenge because it keeps hiding screens on me.
Oh, I know.
All right. Uh, There it
Technology. It's a
is,
blessing and a curse.
technology. It is.
Yay.
All right. So this is the holistic testing model that we were mentioning. So the first course is about this left side, the discover, planning, and understanding and building. That's really where the emphasis is. And this new course is about the right side, right? So we talk about, so in deployment, the deploy section, Lisa, what kinds of exercises, because we have lots of exercises, do we do to practice in that section?
Yeah, some of the ones that people seem to enjoy the most and get the most value out of are one is visualizing their deployment workflow. So what happens
Mhm.
between the time a change is committed to the source code repository to when it actually gets out in front of the customers. And it's so eye-opening to see, what has to happen in between and how can you shorten that feedback cycle. So that's
Yeah.
one of and that's something people can take back to their teams and use. And another one is the test suite canvas from Ashley
Oh,
Huntsberger, where
yes.
you can go through and analyze the automated test suites you have, or maybe the ones you don't have yet, and decide what is the minimum automated test coverage that we need to cover all the risk and feel confident about doing this continuous delivery, frequent deploys to production.
Yeah, I find that, and it surprises me. It shouldn't surprise me, but it does. How many people don't know what their deployment pipeline looks like?
Mm-hmm.
I in our first course, we have this little exercise kind of to say, can people even draw their system? It
Right.
does, right? And a lot of people don't know all the moving parts,
Mm-hmm.
and they certainly don't know what their deployment pipeline is. They do perhaps the tester does their testing and in their test environment, and that's the only piece they know. They don't know what happens after. They don't know what happens before, and it's really important to do that, I think. Um, and that kind of surprises me sometimes.
Yeah, your test strategy really needs to encompass the whole deployment pipeline. So it's really important to understand it and to be able to improve it.
Yeah, and I think that using this idea of this model to develop that whole strategy is really important, right? It becomes more and more, the emphasis changes over time as the team grows and matures, but you have to look at it from a holistic point of view. All right, so let's kind of wrap this up. Um,
Yeah, you can get in touch with us through our website. These are just a reminder of our books and other things we have available. And our contact information, we'd love to hear from you. If you have any ideas for future Donkeys and Dragons video chats. We'd love to hear your topic ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah, and be sure to subscribe to our newsletter. We've got new content every month. I was really excited that we published one yesterday and already had somebody post on LinkedIn their thoughts about it. So that was exciting.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
I was just going to say, I thought it was such an original newsletter because we use the Agile testing quadrants to
Yeah.
think about developing skills, testing
Mm-hmm.
skills. And I thought that was a very unique way of thinking about it. So I was quite excited about doing that newsletter.
We love visual models and thinking tools.
We do.
And speaking of which, we talk about that a lot in our blog posts as well. So check out our blog posts on agiletestingfellow.com.
All right. Anything more to add before I stop this recording?
Yeah, I think we will look forward to seeing everybody virtually next month.
And feel free to send us a note. Bye-bye.
Great.